Hi, my name is Nathan Thaler, and I'm a Product Solutions Architect in VMware Cloud. Today, I'll be demonstrating the new Federated Login to vCenter feature for VMware Cloud and AWS SDDCs. Let's begin by logging to VMware Cloud from vmc.vmware.com. I'm going to jump right into selecting my SDDC from the inventory and verify that it's running SDDC version 1.22, the minimum release for this feature. Next, let's go to the Setting tabs for the SDDC to discover the vCenter URL and log into vCenter. I'm logging in using the same email address I used to log into VMware Cloud. Having Enterprise Federation configured for all domains that require vCenter access is a prerequisite for this feature. Let's take a look at some of the permissions assigned to users in my domain before we enable Federation. This will help demonstrate that users and permissions remain undisturbed during the Federation process. Finally, let's view identity sources on this vCenter to see what they look like prior to Federation. Now that we've reviewed our vCenter authentication authorization setup, we can proceed with enabling vCenter Federation. Under Settings, simply expand Federated Login and click on Enable. Review the warnings. If you're not sure that all your domains required for vCenter access are configured for Enterprise Federation, please cancel and contact VMware support. The enablement process takes just a few minutes, after which you will observe a few changes to the vCenter information section of the Settings tab. The vCenter client link shows a new URL for SSO-based login. Don't worry though, if you go to the vCenter fully qualified domain name /UI, you can still reach SSO login, it just takes an extra click or two. Please note the new emergency URL. This URL, paired with Cloud Admin credentials, will allow you to log into vCenter using the Cloud Admin account, in the unlikely event your identity provider is unavailable. Let's click on the new SSO vCenter URL and observe the updated vCenter login process. In the new tab, we see that console.cloud.vmware.com is now part of the login process, and because we're already logged into VMware Cloud, we're not prompted to enter username and password, as was the case with the LDAP-based vCenter login. Next, let's go to the access control portion of the UI to observe, through a spot check, that the Federation process did not impact our roles and permissions. You can see here that my user still has access. Before we log out of vCenter, let's take a look at the vCenter server single sign-on configuration to see how it has changed post-Federation. The informational message above redirects users to Cloud Services Platform to manage identity providers. As LDAP identity sources can no longer coexist with SSO-based ones, this section of the vCenter UI is no longer relevant for Federated vCenter users. Before I close this presentation, let's go through one final workflow, disabling Federation. While we don't expect many users to need to disable vCenter Federation, if you run into a situation where, say, a service account cannot connect due to an IDP MFA requirement that cannot easily be rectified, it's important to note that Federation configuration is reversible. Before you proceed, please note that while roles and permissions will remain intact, once Federation is disabled, you will need to reconfigure vCenter for your native LDAP or AD LDAP identity source before you can log in with external credentials again. Once Federation is disabled, setting time returns to its pre-Federation state with a single access URL. Let's use that URL in the Cloud Admin credentials to log back into vCenter and observe its rolled back identity state. You'll note the single sign-on configuration has reverted to being editable, with no external identity sources configured. Going back to our roles, we see they are intact as expected. This concludes my demonstration of the new Federated Login for vCenter feature. I hope you found it useful.